Hello and welcome back. So before moving to the hands-on session to do geometry meshing and so on and some manipulation, I would like to address a small technical pointer now because we're going to address sliding meshes in OpenFOAM just to show you what we're talking about in case you don't know. So basically what we want to do is put a body into motion. So imagine that here in this case we have an impeller, can be a propeller, can be a wind turbine, can be anything. Notice you have axial symmetry, you can put it into motion. So basically this technique is called sliding meshes. So what we do is we create two domains. We have a fixed domain and then a moving domain, and then you have an interface connecting both domains. So as you can see, what we do here is that put this into motion and then you interpolate the solution here. So a very good standard practice when you do this is that meshes need to be similar between both domains, the fixed and the rotating one. Okay, so if you have the inner domain much finer, that can add some interpolation errors. Okay, so basically that is what we're doing. To mention that in OpenFOAM and older versions, the technique used is called AMI, arbitrary meshing interface, and in OpenFOAM 11, a new type of boundary condition was introduced or method, which is called the non-conformant coupling, NCC, and this is the technique that we're going to use. Okay, so just to stress, we're using OpenFOAM 12. Also in the developers, fully compatible. As you go to all different versions, it's not compatible. My advice is do the switch because there are many advantages. Now, from the point of view of conservation, okay, and also speed up acceleration of the solution. Okay, so this is what is happening. Also, as you see, there are a few steps in the middle. When we do the mesh in Snappy, we don't need to create this patch, the surface, but we need to create the region, the cell zone. So basically, this is what we're doing. So as you can see, you will have a fix and then a moving region, and then you put it into motion just to mention that you can put multiple bodies into motion. There is no limitation. And this is what is happening in a Snappy. So recall that we did it with the Wolřej Dynamics logo. So basically, we need to create this inner region. Okay, so in this case, you need to have axial symmetry, by the way. So you have this region, and then starting from this region, we can do all the treatment to create the sliding meshes. But at this point, this is fully compatible now to use the MRF approach that later we'll talk about that. So basically, just to show you a solution, this case now the continuous reactor. So this is the case that we're using sliding grids. We have all this interpolation implemented in NCC, and this is the MRF now, the multiple reference frame, where everything is steady. So you can choose the approach. So the idea of this approach is you add a source there. So by the way, when you do MRF, you need to use the NCC boundary condition. But if you want, you can implement it. But this is just select the source there, and that's all. So this is super fast. This is steady solver. This is extremely slow. You can run this, by the way, using on a steady approach, but it doesn't make any sense. So the idea of using MRF is fast solution. So this is what we're going to focus on. In any case, we're going to see the setup of both cases. To stress also something that the NCC sliding meshes is not only when you have rotating geometries, also can be with many types of geometries. So here we have this case that we have a train entering a tunnel, and basically we implemented the NCC, the patch here just to change information between different boundaries, and here you have the train entering into the tunnel. So this kind of simulations also can be done. They are very expensive, by the way. As you can see, you need a very large domain entering into the tunnel to do all this interpolation and so on. Okay, so here you have a few links, very interesting links. So I recommend you to visit these links. So basically, also regarding documentation and so on, and I think I already have the pages here just to show you. So just take a look, just telling you now how to create and so on, and guidelines, standard practices, and so on. So just take a look and spend some time just reading that link. And well, basically I'm showing this. I'm not going into comments about this. Just to mention also, this is a very annoying error. And if you have used Lagrangian particle solvers, in OpenFOAM when doing the post-processing in parallel, the compose mesh will crash. Here you will have a similar error. Okay, so if you get this one, don't worry. It's something that the OpenFOAM, the version that comes with OpenFOAM 12 paraview 511 is not compatible with what is happening there. So my advice is to install a newer version. So I tested 5.13 works. So be careful about this, but don't go into panic. By the way, you can do the post processing in serial. So if you have the case in parallel, reconstruct the case and it will work. Everything happens when you are doing the decomposition, no, the post processing in parallel, no, the decomposed case. Okay, so that those were now the technical pointers that I wanted to address, and well, then we have here now how to set up the case and some comments. So see you next time. Bye.